All right, let's just jump right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking this super fascinating theme that pops up all over animation, that irresistible pull and the pretty much inevitable disaster of a quick magical fix. We're going to look at exactly what happens when our favorite characters try to take a magical shortcut.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You're staring down this massive pile of laundry, or maybe you're totally stressing over a deadline, and you think, man, if I just had a little bit of enchanted help, life would be a breeze. It's completely human nature to want to bypass the struggle and just wave a magic wand to make everything perfect.
But, as you'll see, the reality of animation and, well, honestly life in general is a bit more complicated. On one hand, we've got this idealized concept of enchanted help, but on the other, the stark reality, messy consequences. You see, magic usually comes with this giant terms and conditions page that literally no one ever bothers to read, and skipping that fine print, yeah, it almost always leads to messy, hilarious, and sometimes surprisingly emotional consequences.
So to really get a handle on this, let's map out the clauses of this magical contract. We're going to break this down into 5 key areas: the terms and conditions, the illusion of power, the burden of tools, the quick fix trap, and finally, finding your own Zing.
Kicking things off with Section 1, the terms and conditions, or the hidden costs of magic. Before we get too deep, we absolutely have to establish the foundational rule that governs pretty much every enchanted universe out there, and it's this: be careful what you wish for, because magic always has a catch. From accidental physical transformations to just wildly chaotic birthdays, this quote is essentially the ultimate warning label for anyone looking for an easy way out. It is the golden rule of enchanted storytelling. You just don't get something for nothing.
Moving right along to Section 2, the illusion of power, fake magic, real chaos. Okay, let's look at our first case study. We've got Jeanette from Alvin and the Chipmunks. She was feeling pretty down, basically thinking the world had lost all its magic. So, to cheer her up, her siblings come up with this magic wand. But here's the kicker. The magic wasn't real at all. It was an elaborate setup powered entirely by holograms and invisible wiring. They literally engineered this whole illusion so that when she said a magic word, it looked like she was magically lifting tables and lighting candles. It was just supposed to be a sweet, harmless gesture.
Well, the chaos totally snowballed the second Jeanette actually started believing she had real powers. I mean, she starts off simple, right? Lifting tables with this fake magic. Harmless enough, but then she gets confident. She escalates to trying to unfreeze people, and eventually she's trying to grow these giant plants all over the house, genuinely believing she can just bend reality to her will.
So here's the real issue. To keep this massive illusion from falling apart, her friends ended up completely trapped in a quagmire of their own making. They were secretly running around painting houses and frantically trying to find lost dogs just to maintain the facade. It goes to show that even when magic appears to be working, it usually requires an exhausting amount of hidden labor behind the scenes just to keep the whole system from collapsing.
That brings us to Section 3, the burden of tools, real magic, dangerous world.
Now, we get a totally different look at the price of magic with Zak Storm. Zak was just an average kid who happened to find a strange necklace and boom, gets sucked into the Bermuda Triangle. And in this incredibly dangerous new world, he ends up wielding Calabrass. Now, Calabrass isn't just a regular sword, it's this amazing talking sword that gives its user powerful elemental transformations. We're talking abilities like the Eye of Sino or Beru. Sounds like the ultimate cheat code for surviving the Bermuda Triangle, doesn't it?
Well, not exactly. Wielding that immense power isn't just a plug-and-play situation, because if you lack the raw industrial might or the underlying skill to properly control an artifact like that, having it doesn't instantly make you a superhero. Nope, you're still just a vulnerable kid standing in a very dangerous place, literally surrounded by skeletons. The magic amplifies the danger just as much as it amplifies the power.
And Zak's journey is super fascinating here, because it teaches us a crucial lesson about these objects. The sword is just a tool. These legendary magical weapons are pretty much useless without the internal skill, the discipline, and the bravery of the person holding them. The real hero has to be the person holding the sword, not the sword itself.
Okay, moving to Section 4, the quick fix trap, when spells backfire. This trap is such a common theme in animation, where characters try to solve this deep, complex problem with a quick, surface-level spell. Just look at the movie Onward. The characters use a spell desperately hoping to bring back a lost loved one, but what's the messy consequence?
It literally only brings back a pair of legs, half the spell, half the person. And it's the exact same deal in Shrek. Our hero drinks a happily ever after potion to fix his deep-seated insecurities, and the result? An ogre turns into a human. Trying to fix yourself with magic almost always causes you to lose your true identity in the process.
Which leads us to our final point, Section 5, Finding Your Own Zing, the Mirror's Truth.
This is where we pull it all together. It's about the real internal lessons these characters have to face once the flashy magic fades. Across so many stories, the inner journey is what actually matters. Whether it's Sam from the movie Luck, chasing a lucky penny only to realize that bad luck is actually a necessary part of the journey, or The Pencil's Tale, reminding us that what's on the inside is what counts, or even Mavis from Hotel Transylvania, trying to find her zing on her 118th birthday. Different worlds, sure, but the core message is exactly the same.
And it all boils down to this absolute truth right here. Magic can change your appearance or your surroundings, but it can't fix your heart. That's the real secret. You don't need a perfectly executed spell or some magic potion to find your true path or your zing. You really just need the bravery to step out into this unpredictable world and be your authentic self, exactly like Mavis did.
So the big takeaway from this whole explainer, the next time you find yourself stumbling across a metaphorical lucky coin or a magic wand in your own life, those super tempting shortcuts, just remember that true internal growth vastly outpaces any quick fix. The absolute best magic is the kind you make yourself, through genuine growth and honestly, by making a whole bunch of mistakes and actually learning from them.
I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts on this. As we keep building our awesome peer network here at MagicScene Studio, I want you to drop a comment below. If you had one magic spell that was absolutely guaranteed to go wrong, what would you wish for? It's a pretty fun thought experiment, right? Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Until next time, stay curious and always, always cherish your zing.